Instead of building that 8 million home, let's say you have that 8 million with you and you want to build a home. How about you do this? And I'm going to share with you a very detailed way on how you can be smart with your money. And instead of taking the entire 8 million and tying down that capital, there is a smart way of approaching it. Remember, I don't have a monopoly of all the ideas. I'm only sharing with you what I find it important. And I have a lot of people doing that. Check out on this video to the end so that you understand what I'm talking about. This is Good Joseph. In case you're watching me for the first time, go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure that you subscribe. I usually share these kind of tips each and every day. Let's go ahead. Now, here you have yourself, say, a budget of 8 million. By the way, it doesn't have to be 8 million. Probably you have a budget of 4 million or something like that, or whichever the money that you have, and you want to own a home. So what happens basically if you have this amount of money? I'm assuming you don't have a parcel of land. So you simply get a fraction of it. Probably you're going to take 2 million, go buy yourself a plot, 50 by 100 or whatever, and then build yourself a home worth, say, 6 million. 6 million, probably that will gonna get you like 4-bedroom house, bungalow or something like that. Now, you have your own home. Congratulations, and I would love you to own a home. What if you do this instead? Right now, as we speak, we have a new infrastructure bond that has been floated. We have two of them. We have one that is going for 7.5 years, and we have one that is going for 15 years. One for 7 years is giving you a tax-free interest of 12.5%, and the other one is giving you 12.9%, which is going for 15 years. So this is me thinking out loud. What if you decide to do this? Instead of taking this entire chunk of 8 million and building yourself a home, how about you decide to invest in this infrastructure bond? Let's say you pick the one that is going for 15 years, okay? So you pick that one that is going for 15 years and you get that interest rate of 12.9%. So what is 12.9% of 8 million? And please allow us to go step by step. Take yourself a pen and paper and a calculator. I got my calculator here so that we can be able to verify all these figures. So I'm on my calculator. I'm looking of what is 12.9% of 8 million. I want us to see how much you'll be able to get each and every year. So 12.9% is what you get after every 1 year. Are we together? So that will give you this one multiplied by 8 million. That will get you 1,032,000 each and every year. After 1 year, you have yourself 1,032,000. That is what you get as your interest out of your 8 million at the end of the year. We all know that infrastructure bond or any bond, they usually pay you 2 times in an year. So instead of you getting this money at the end of the year, it's a whole long period of time to wait, you can simply, this money is usually divided into 2. So this will give you 500,000 and 516,000 if I'm not wrong. Yeah, I've done that offhand. So 516,000 is what you get after every 6 months. So if you want to know how much you'll get after every 1 month, simply divide this by 6 because this is what you get in a period of 6 months. So this one divided by 2, this one divided by 6, you'll be able to get at least 86,000 each and every month. So you are getting how much? 86,000 each and every month. Now, hear me out. You've already invested your money. Now what you do, let's divide this and come here. What happens now? You've invested your money. Now, what you do immediately after investing your money, I would suggest you get yourself a mortgage. Okay? You go to a bank and of course negotiate with your bank and they give you a mortgage. Mortgage, they tend to fetch you quite of a friendly interest when it comes to Kenya. Talk of 9% all the way to 12%. Are we together? Let's say, sorry, not 19, 9% to 12%. Let's say you get an average of 10% of mortgage. Now, let's see if the mortgage works, it is the best. If you don't get a mortgage, then you can decide to get what we call a what? A loan. We're going to find out the two options, what you are landing onto. Let's say you get a mortgage of 10%. If you get a mortgage of 10%, and let's say they give you a period of mortgages usually don't exceed 15 years. It's usually the longest they can go. Say you get a mortgage of 15 15 years. So 15 years, and they tell you each and every month probably you're supposed to pay how much. Now here I want us, me and you, to agree. It depends. For those who have ever taken a mortgage, and you take a mortgage of a house worth 8 million, how much do you think approximately they will ask you to be paying each and every month? Okay, how much do you think, and how much do you think will be, and is this interest usually what do we call reducing balance, or is it constant like that way? Assuming it's not a reducing balance, probably 10% of 8 million in a period of that month. Let's say for example, these guys, they ask you to be paying them 70k each and every month. Are we together? So if they ask you to be paying them 70k each and every month, I want us to see, if you pay 70k each and every month, let's see how much you'll be able to pay them, so that we can check out whether it's a logical interest for them to charge you in a period of 15 years. So if you take 70k, that's why I said verify, so that you get the correct figures. Are we together? I'm working with the approximates of, I think, more than 4 friends of mine. They use this formula to own a home. Are we together? They are quite a little bit senior. One was around 40 years. The other one was a little bit like 42 years. Yeah, and others something like that. So 70k multiplied this by, this is a month, multiply this by 12, multiply this by 15. That will add up to around 12,600,000. I think that's a logical interest in a period of 15 years, isn't it? So let's stick with 70,000. Again, you can verify this. So if you get 70,000 each and every month, or rather you're supposed to pay this mortgage 70,000 each and every month, guess what happens now? So they give you the cash, you go build the home, and you have yourself a bond. Now you're taking a loan against the bond that you have, which is very much possible. Guess what happens now? The bond is giving you 86,000, whilst the mortgage is asking you for 70k. I understand one thing. They don't pay monthly. They usually pay after 6 months. But then you can have an arrangement of how you can be able to get this. Either way, you can be able to use this cash to settle around your what? Your loan here. Now, what happens here is that you are getting 86, they're asking you for 70. Now you're having a balance of around 16,000 with you. Now this 16,000, of course, the bonds don't give you compound interest, they give you simple interest. So this 16,000, you'll be having it as an excess each and every month. So you multiply this by 12 to make it 1 year, you multiply it by 15 to make it 15 years. So how much are you going to end up with? So that is 16,000. Are we together? And remember, please verify the actual numbers and figures. You can even show up to any mortgage president and ask them, if they give you a mortgage of 8 million, how much are you supposed to pay in a month? Then compare and contrast with my number, then run it across. I said it is me and you having a discussion. It's not me telling you, hey, this is the action. We are discussing. You know, with numbers, you have to get it right and you have to be smart. Okay? Now, this is 16 multiplied by 12 multiplied by 15. You'll have yourself 2.8 million. Okay? You have yourself 2.8 million as an excess of whatever you're gonna get out of this money. Now, if you ask me honestly, instead of tying down this capital, you take a mortgage, or rather you invest on a bond, take a mortgage, pay all that bond throughout that particular period of time, and guess what happens after the 15th year? You'll not only have your 8 million back, but you'll have a home and you'll have an excess of 2.8 million. Is it not that amazing, honestly? I mean, seriously, if this doesn't work, what else do you think it can work? So you have yourself a home, you didn't tie, because at the end of the day, home is an amazing, let me call it, it's an asset. I don't think it's an investment, actually. It's more, it's slightly falling into a liability, because you need to pay, you need to, service and all those kind of things. But it's quite amazing anyway to have a home, okay? I 100% support it. Now, what happens, you'll be able to own a home, because now you've settled down your mortgage in that period of 15 years. And meaning now you own a home, isn't it? A home, of course, which is appreciating in price, or in terms of, price, of course, it's appreciating. For we say homes appreciate at a rate of approximately 3%, 3% per annum, 3%, 3 to 5 or 3 to 7. It depends with the locality of your place and, of course, the structure that you did come up with. Now, see, after the 15th year, you have yourself a home that you own fully. You got no loans on top of you. And you have your 8 million that, of course, will be sent back to you automatically by the Central Bank of Kenya. And on top of that, you have an excess of 2.8 million. But again, go verify what will be the excess. Let's even say, okay, for the benefit of doubt, let's even say the mortgage is asking you for 86,000, meaning everything that you're getting from your bond. At the end of the 15th year, True, you will not have any excess, but you'll have a home and you'll have your 8 million. So for me, I think it's way good. Okay, I think it's way better if you are young and you're looking forward into investing. I think this is a better way of approaching that investment. It's like killing two birds with one stone, and it's quite okay. The reason why I love infrastructure bond is because they tend to be tax free. And of course, I have not factored in the what do you call it? The inflation factor and what have you. But then if there was an inflation, it hits both. Somebody may argue and be like, okay, it's 12.9%. Inflation in Kenya right now, as you speak, I'm making this video in July, inflation in Kenya is around 4.1%. So if you do the deductions there, somebody may argue last week. But you forget even the house that is appreciating at 3%, subjected to inflation as well. So because also the currency of Kenya is losing its value. So if we are getting, assuming that you're going to have an average inflation of 4.1% throughout of the 15 period of time, it simply means then your home is not gaining anything. Because if it's gaining at an average, say, of 3% and inflation is at 4.1%, don't you see you are at negative 1.1%? Again, I said this is a discussion. This is Good Joseph thinking out loud. This is Good Joseph trying to poke your numbers and trying to jog your mind a little bit and give you alternatives of what you should do or what you should think, and see whether you can be able to, set on something that can be far much better, or you can get the best deal. Now, I'm thinking about something else here. This is me asking myself and asking you as well. You can help me to answer that question in the comment section. What if you take that 8 million and instead of building your own home, okay, let's say owning your home wasn't the primary target, and maybe perhaps you do the rentals, of 8 million. Rentals of 8 million probably will earn you approximately, I'm assuming you don't have a land, and for you to get a quite good rent, say you own a land worth 2 million, then you have 6 million to build. 6 million will get you, say, approximately 8 units of 1 bedroom. Maybe you rent that 1 bedroom at approximately, say, 10,000 per month. So you have like 80,000 at the end of the month. So 80,000 from the 80,000 a month from the real estate, and of course 86,000 from the bond, and of course you pay back that particular loan. I think that can be an amazing deal, isn't it? You're getting money from the rentals, because you borrowed against your bond. Of course, I know you won't borrow exactly that. Probably they will give you maybe, let's say, 7 million or something like that. Also, that's a factor to consider as well. Probably they may not give you exact 8 million. They may give you, say 90% of this, which is around 7 million or 7.5. It depends with the ability to negotiate, you build your rentals there. Rentals are bringing in some cash, and you have whatever you are getting there. So if you get 80,000 plus 86,000, you're at around 160 something thousand. Then let's say they give you like 7 years or 8 years or whatever the period of time, and then you pay back. So for me, I see, sure, you'll be able to pay back all this entire loan. You get back your 8 million after the period of time, and of course you get your structure. Well, it's me thinking out loud, so help me and understand what is the best way to go about it. This is Good Joseph, and I try the best as I can to find out the good ways on how you can be able to invest and get the best deal of your money out there. This is an open video. You can criticize and check out and see how can we be of help to each other. See you in the next one.